Welcome back to my workshop. Now today is going to be one of the most weird videos I've ever made. What I need to do is I need to test some masks. Okay, I've been sent these masks which will be in a following video, but I want to test them, and instead of doing just a subjective test, I want to do a proper objective test. Okay, I want to get some proper readings on how effective they are. So what I need to do is measure something. Now, most of you that have watched this channel know that I've got one of these, which is an air quality meter. I did this video which explains a lot of the details about it, but this is a very good meter. But what I want to do is use this to measure how efficient this mask is going to be. So how am I going to do that? So ideally what I want to do is put the mask on and then have this inside my lungs and breathe in. That should give me an accurate reading of what air pollution is actually getting into my lungs. Now, obviously, that's a stupid idea. But what I can do is I can simulate this. And what I've got to help me is in this box. Okay, let me just pull it out of the box and I'll show you what it is. It's a head. Okay, it's the same size as my head. I've got some tape around it because I don't want it getting dirty at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pipe work, a fan and the meter in this and try and simulate breathing in through the mask. What could possibly go wrong? So how am I going to make all this work? Okay, I've got my little head here. What I need really is something to house this in. Okay, so this is the meter. So I need some way of drawing air through his nostrils and through his mouth, through some pipe, which I have here, okay, into a container. Now let's use something like this. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have this in the container with the pipe work going into this head. Okay, then that can sit on the top like that. Okay, that's the idea. How am I going to make it breathe? Well, I'm going to make it breathe by using a little fan. Okay, so what I need to do is calibrate this fan so it draws in about the same amount as when I breathe in, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a moment. Okay, but I think the first thing I've got to do is try and get this bit of hose through his nostrils and out through his neck. This is going to get a bit messy. Right, first off, let's get this off his head because I'm sure he's having a bit of trouble breathing like this. Right, I'll try not to get him too dirty because that'll ruin everything. Okay, this is quite an expensive mannequin. It's supposed to be for things like makeup and wigs and hats and glasses. Okay, and the reason I got it is because obviously it's got ears. So if I've got a face mask that requires some hooking around the ears, I can use that. Okay, so this is quite an expensive little mannequin, but I didn't realise I was going to destroy it by getting the hoses in. Okay, but what I have to do is in the bottom here, I've already made a start because this bit took ages. Okay, I've managed to cut this out. Okay, so now I can get in here somehow and get to the back of his nose and to the mouth. Okay, so I might have a bit more of a dig around in here. I don't want to take too much out because otherwise I'll end up making it a bit wobbly. Okay, so let me dig some of this out. I think I need a spoon or something. Right, so as you can see, I've got most of his brains out there. This has given me access in here. Okay, I don't want him getting too dirty, so let's put a hat on him. Yeah, that's much better. Right, so what I've got to do now is gain access to his nostrils. Okay, so what I'm going to do is using a scalpel, I'm going to cut a hole in his nostrils. Don't try this at home, kids. Alright, so I just need to cut a hole big enough for the hose to go through. I told you this is the most bizarre video I've ever made. I think that's still got some foam behind it because it won't go in. Oh, here we go. Okay, and also I need access to his mouth here to put another bit of hose through, so I'll literally just cut between his lips. Okay, and that should allow me to poke a bit of hose through. Right, let's try and poke some hose. Okay, I think the easiest way to do this, rather than trying to just shove the hose through his nose, what I'll do is I'll go in first so I can see where it's going to come inside. Let's see if I can get you in a position. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom there. Okay, and then do the other nostril. This is so bizarre. Okay, so now I should be able to get the hose in. Oh, it's quite big. Come on. Now, I could never be a doctor. All right, I need that to go all the way in so I can get it from the other side. Now, might have to clean out a bit more of his brains. The things I do for YouTube. It'll all make sense later. Right, so that's probably the most difficult part done. That was the most unnatural thing I've ever done, even though it's only a mannequin. I've now got 2 hoses out of his nostrils and 1 out of his mouth. I shall trim these all up so it doesn't interfere with the mask afterwards. Those 3 pipes come out of the bottom here and they'll go into the reservoir, which is going to be his lungs. Now we've got this intimate, I think I should give him a name. And what is he? He's a synthetic inhaling device. So let's call him SID. Okay, so SID here is now going to be sitting on top of here. Okay, you can see that. So what I need to do is I need to drill 3 holes for these hoses to go into his lungs. Okay, so all I need to do is quickly measure these hoses. I just happen to have a set of calipers here. Okay, so they're about 8mm. So if I drill 3 8mm holes in the top of this, I should be able to feed the hoses through. I won't stick them all in yet. I'll just drill the holes and then poke them through and then seal it all afterwards. Okay, so my good friend Sid here has now got his pipe work. These holes are quite tight, so I may not even need to seal them, but I probably will. One thing I did notice when I was drilling this, this is quite hard plastic, and it was melting more than it was drilling. Okay, now this is a concern because now I've got to mount this fan. Okay, it's just a normal PC fan. I've got to mount that to the side there. Okay, so I've got to cut a hole here and mount this to the side. So what I'll do is I'll mark this out and then find a way of cutting it without melting it too much. Let's mark it out first. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cut that out with my multi-tool here. This is my little Stanley Fat Max one. I shall do it as quick as I can, but I suspect that this is going to gum up very quickly with molten plastic. Okay, until I start cutting it, I won't know. So let's start cutting. Right, so now cut that out. This is really horrible to cut because it just melts instead of cutting nicely. Right, so the idea is the hole. I could either have the fan mounted on the outside, but I'm now thinking I could have it mounted on the inside, which will make it all look a bit more professional. Okay, but before I stick that in there, because I'm going to just use hot glue gun for that, what I need to know is how fast I need to pump this fan so it simulates how much I breathe. Now for that, I'm going to need this, which is a confetti cone. What? I'll explain. Right, so why would I need a confetti cone? I made these for a wedding a little while ago, and they just happen to be the right size. Because what I've done is I've cut the end off, okay, and I've cut the fluty bits off, and I'm going to use this to measure how much air I breathe in. Now to do that, what I need is one of these, which is an anemometer. Okay, let's have a close look and I'll show you how I'm going to use these. Okay, so this is my confetti cone. What I'm going to do is snip the end off there and take off these fluty bits, and that gives me one of these. Okay, and the idea is I use this like a reverse trumpet. Okay, I'll suck in this end and this end goes on my anemometer. Okay, now quickly, what an anemometer is, it will measure airflow. Okay, so in this case, what we want to measure is flow. So change the function to flow. And I think I'm going to read cubic feet per minute. That should give me a good reading. Okay, and what happens is when I suck or blow through this, okay, it gives me a reading of how much flow. Okay, so how many cubic feet per minute. So what I need to know is if I suck through this tube with it attached to this, okay, it will give me a reading of how much I'm breathing in. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this max min button. Okay, so it will record my maximum breathing in. I shall do that 10 times and then get an average. So let's do the first one. (2,394 cubic feet per minute). So let's write that down and then do it again and again and again and again. Right, now I'm all out of breath. This has given us a reading. Okay, so this is my average deep breath flow, okay, which is 2298 cubic feet per minute. So what I need to do now is get the fan so it draws at 2298 cubic feet per minute using this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a variable voltage to do that. Okay, it's quite simple. I'll show you. Okay, so there's nothing scary here. This is just a variable voltage power supply. Okay, we've got voltage here and we've got current here. Okay, all I've got is it wired up to this. Okay, this is a little brushless motor. So the varying voltage will change how fast this goes. So let me just give you a demonstration. If I turn the voltage up, Okay, so it's 10 volts, it's going this fast. If I turn it up to, oh, a bit far, 12 volts, it's going that fast. And if I bring it right down, okay, you get the idea. So what I need to do now is adjust this voltage, okay, to power this at a certain speed. So I then get my voltage that's equivalent to 2298 cubic feet per minute. Okay, so let's turn this on. Okay, get this back on cubic feet per minute. We want flow, cubic feet per minute. Okay, now I won't put this flat on the, let's move you so you get a better look. I won't put it flat on here because that will restrict the amount of air that flows through it, okay? So what I need to do is hold it up here, put this on top, and remember I want this to read 2298, okay? Hold it off because I don't want the fans hitting it. Okay, start the fans. Okay. 25, 26. Alright, I will measure this again later because obviously once I've got it in the enclosure, it will change. Okay, 2370, that's quite close, and that is 7.1 volts. Okay, so let's make a note of that. So if I power this at 7.1 volts, this is about the same strength as me breathing in. That's good to know. Let's write that down. Right, I'm just going to hold this in with hot glue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, because of the way the motor is going to be sucking out of the box, I can actually have the wires on the outside. Okay, so then I haven't got to drill any holes for the wiring. Okay, so now if I just position this correctly, I'll do. Put a bit of hot glue. Looks a bit of a mess, but it'll do. Okay, so now I've got my fan mounted in here. What I need to do is, because the sensor is going to be there, what I don't want it to do is draw the air in here and go straight out of the fan. Okay, I want it to pass over the top of the sensor, which is here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a little baffle in here. Okay, so the air is drawn from the top here, past the sensor, up, under, and out of this way. Okay, so what I need is a little baffle. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. I'm just going to cut it out of cardboard and then stick it in with hot glue. Right, last thing I need to do is, obviously this needs a power supply, okay, which is just this little USB. So what I'm going to do is drill a very small hole in here so I can feed the wire through, and then it's going to come across the bottom here and feed the sensor. Okay, that's the plan. Let's drill another hole. Right, to be perfectly honest with you, I still have no idea if this is going to work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mount SID on the top here. I'm going to thread his pipes through and then somehow give it a little bit of a test. Okay, so that's his pipes going through. Okay, they seem fairly tight, so hopefully I won't need to seal them anymore. Thread them through as far as I can. Okay, so I will need to seal around the edge. I'll probably use hot glue again because that seems to seal quite well. Right, so we need to plug our little meter in. Sorry, Sid. Ooh. Then I have to mount the meter on here. I'll just stand it there for now, I think. Right, let's get you in for a closer look. Okay. So young Sid here is almost ready for testing. I just want to run a bead of hot glue all around the edge here to make sure that there's no air going into this reservoir apart from the air that's going in through his nose and through his mouth. So just a bead of hot glue around the back and the sides. Let's wait for me hot glue gun to warm up. Okay, just one more final test before we actually put him into action. What I want to do is look at the inflow again on this, because now obviously I've changed the characteristics of this. Okay, so it's not just the fan, it's the whole enclosure. So I want to make sure we got our 2298 cubic feet per minute coming through the nostrils and the mouth. Okay, there's no other air getting in here, so I may have to increase the voltage a little bit. So let's start this off, get this onto cubic feet per minute. Okay, and I need my 2298. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it at that. It's 218. Okay, but I've had to up my voltage to 13 volts. You can see there. Okay, so the characteristics of this reservoir, his lungs, have changed how much flow, but now all of this is the same as I was breathing in, is coming through his nose. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's give him a bit of a test. Okay, a quick test. He's now breathing. He's breathing in through his nose and his mouth. No dust mask on. If you can look here, you can see it says PM 2.5 is on 7, PM 10 is on 8, and PM 1 is on 4. Okay, they're very low readings. Now all I'm going to do is, we all know what this stuff smells like. Okay, I'm going to just give it a quick blast past his nose, not up his nose, just past his nose. So the only air going in here is through here. Okay, so watching that, we should see how much he's actually breathing in. A little tiny squirt. Okay, that's what he's breathing in. Okay, 121, 129, 136, 141. Now you saw that was only a tiny little blow. Oh, we're into the red. 155. And this is 181 and 61. Okay, and he's breathing it out again. That's quite a concern, isn't it? So he's breathed all that lot in. See how long it takes before that clears. Right, stop it there. Right, he's had a little bit of a breather now. He's almost back to clean air. Right, just going to do one more little test here before we call it a day. I'm going to see how Sid, our friend Sydney, deals with a bit of sanding. Okay, because of this, I'm going to be wearing a mask. I'm just going to sand a couple of pieces of wood in front of him with him turned on and see how much he actually breathes in. So let's see if that works. Right, I think you get the idea. Right, let's call it a day for that. So that's about it for this video. As I said, it's probably the weirdest video I've ever made. but I did need to make this so I could test these masks, okay? I've proved that it works, okay, and I can get a genuine reading of how much you would breathe in. So I could do a review on these masks and get some numbers to it, okay, to see how good it is. I'm also going to do a series of videos, hopefully, about things around the workshop, like how much smoke comes off of the laser. So young SID here, okay, so that's my synthetic inhaling device, will get used a little bit before he ends up finding another purpose. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I found it bizarre, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, I didn't record any of that, which is very hot. I've got to somehow get in there. I'm going to get in there. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try it. Bloody compressed. So that's about it for this video. Say goodbye, Sid. Goodbye, Sid.